Alrighty, I'd like to talk a little bit about property nodes. So if I have some object on the front panel, let's actually make it a button because buttons are kind of fun. So here's a button called Push Me, and I can control. Obviously, we know that the user can click on this, and we get a true or false out this boolean. Something we haven't talked about yet is property nodes. So if I go and right-click on my variable, create property node, I can create a property node that has all kinds of different properties. And if I actually do my Control H for my context help, that's actually not going to come up. Drop this guy down here. I'll do Control H now, and I can click on him. And sure enough, there's all these different properties. He can be blinking. I can change his caption. He's got different text, there's value signaling, and so I can change all sorts of things about this node, or about this button rather. So I'm actually going to just select the visible property node for now. And property nodes can, just like local variables, can be read or write. And so if I change him to write and right-click, create a control, there's a control called visible pops up. I'm going to get rid of the context help, and I have visible. And so I can run this continuously, and sure enough, visible will determine whether or not the push me button exists. Doesn't affect the value at all, but does show or does change whether or not that value is displayed or is visible. So that actually ends up being a very powerful thing, because we can now control all sorts of things about the appearance, the location of our front panel controls programmatically, which ends up being really useful. There's also a value here called value, or a property called value, and this is just outputs the value of that. There's also value signaling, and what value signaling is this will actually, in addition to changing the value, will throw an event. So if you write to value, or if you write to a local variable, an event structure will not execute. But if you do value signaling, or if the user updates the value, then you will get an event. So you can control whether or not events get thrown. So speaking of events, let's actually do some event-driven programming. So I'm going to need a while loop. I'm going to want a stop button. I'm going to want to slow this thing down to something sort of human scale. Call it 150 milliseconds. And I'm going to drop down an event structure. One thing that is good to do is wire up the timeout of my event structure, the same value as my delay here. And in fact, actually, I can just go ahead and put this guy in here. All right, and so I now have an event structure, so I can create an event about the button. So I'll add an event case, and there's my push me. And let's say that if the mouse, so I've got value change is the most common value changes, because we tend to be concerned with the value. But there's a bunch of other things if the menu shortcuts are activated. And then we have a property called mouse enter. So I'm going to talk about that one, which is, so if the mouse enters the field around the variable press me, we can get rid of visible. We don't really need him anymore. Let's see, so if we enter, then we can actually hide this. So we're now writing a program that is going to antagonize our user. So when I run this, if the mouse comes near this variable, then it will disappear. And sure enough, there it goes. Now I can't bring it back. So if I go here, I can go show and bring it back. But it would be nice to have some code that would bring that back, so I could maybe create another button to bring that back, or another case statement. So that would be something. There is another thing that I could do here is, instead, when the mouse enters, I could change the position. So again, value, and now I have, let's see, position, let's say top. And And again, I'm going to create a I'm going to read the position. I'm going to add some number to it. And then if I run this, if I get near this guy, the button actually runs away, making it very difficult to press and further antagonizing the user. Again, our goal here is not to make programs that upset the user or make buttons that are impossible to press, sort of a fun little gag, but also a reasonable tutorial into how property nodes work. Hope that was helpful.